Marvel Rivals has released last week and completely exploded. The game is a 6v6 hero shooter, third-person objective multiplayer game. It's free to play, and the reaction to Marvel Rivals having an incredibly successful launch and positive reception is hilarious. The coping is wild, and justifying things that have happened in the industry recently is very funny, namely Concord, the biggest flop in gaming history. So as you can see, Marvel Rivals has just exploded to the second top of the chart with 460,000 peak concurrent viewers, and that was in less than a week now. And if we take a look at the Steam DB charts, it has been holding at over 350 to 400,000. The cycles is obviously people going to sleep. So terrific launch for NetEase and Marvel Rivals. You can see that the Steam reviews are mostly positive. Reading some of these reviews, very fun and free hero shooter with every character unlocked from the start. A battle pass that never expires and a license they can expand on for potentially years to come. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Marvel, right? I'm leaving a positive review just for how well these servers work on launch. With millions of players, I've had zero issues across the board. Connecting to matches, friends, etc. No weird drops, nothing. Other AAA studios should take notes. Yeah, that's true. We've seen time and time again. The first impressions for a lot of games is just not being able to get into the server. And the community reception of this game is overwhelmingly positive. So why is this getting discourse, right? We have a positively received free-to-play game that actually had a very good first impression. I mean, just looking at the gameplay, the similarities are very obviously there to Overwatch. Obviously, Overwatch is a first-person shooter, and this is a mostly third-person. But just the UI, the objectives, the cosmetics, like things like, you know, the victory screens and whatever, it is very Overwatch. I mean, come on. We have something that was thought of to be a dead, oversaturated genre, which is the 5v5 or 6v6 hero shooter. And yet this game is thriving. Whereas the thoughts behind Concord, which was the historic flop in the hero shooter genre and was a reason for Sony to, you know, calm down on the whole live service front. People said that Concord flopped because it's a hero shooter. In a oversaturated hero shooters are done. We're over with it. And others said that Concord actually flopped because it's too woke. You can see right away me just looking up Concord on Twitter. We have, Concord versus Marvel Rivals. All-time peak 697. No players right now. All-time peak 444,000. Which way, Western Gamer, with 24,000 likes. Again, comparing the same two characters. We're not gonna look deeper into why. And then we can see the Discord heavy was from this tweet, which was a few days ago when the game announced. Concord failed because live service is too complicated and hero shooters are dying. Marvel Rivals legally distinct hot Genji says otherwise. This was really the start of the discourse of people saying, well, of course, Marvel is super recognizable. This is a free-to-play game. Concord was like, what, $40 or $60? I don't even remember. Does anyone even remember? Also, let's not pretend like Concord didn't have god-awful marketing where people had no idea what this game was going to be until it was revealed to be your hero shooter out in a couple months. Not to mention Concord felt like an industry plant with the whole secret level episode before there was any hype or even an idea that this game was going to come out. Meanwhile, Marvel Rivals had playtesting and it made very clear exactly what it was from the start, and people could figure out from knowing what the game is if they're on board or not. And then one of the most liked tweet to that responding saying, I wonder why, and just showing the Concord next to the Marvel rival characters. You gotta admit, it's got a better distinct art style. But the elephant in the room is just say smash or pass, okay? It's so obvious. Does that make a game successful or not? I don't think so. There's a lot of positive reception for Marvel's Rivals beyond the character design, although it does give it that, you know, anime comic book style. It's like a good mesh between the styles, you know. It's actually pretty good looking. But you can see that Squirrel Girl trending with over 70,000 tweets that I can't even show that it's not safe for gamers. Says it's there's a lot of buzz going on. And then we got this huge tweet today from Dexterdo, over 1 million impressions. Marvel Rivals data miners discovers character models are more detailed than they should be in game files and think they'll be easy to use for fan projects. Fan projects, it's over. Overwatch is done. It's over. It's not just the community that's pointing out the similarities between Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. Former Blizzard boss Mike Yabra has slammed Marvel Rivals, intimating it's an Overwatch clone. In a now deleted tweet, Mike called NetEase's game free-to-play team-based PvP shooter Overwatch Marvel Rivals, adding that much like Tencent's Light of Motoram is a clear copy of Horizon Zero Dawn, Marvel Rivals clearly took inspiration from Blizzard's own team PvP shooter Overwatch. Yeah, a lot of people are making this comparison. Again, like I said, the first thing I could see, especially the UI, like hit markers, kill confirms, even the kill feed, the objectives, it does look like Overwatch. That's undeniable. Doesn't mean it doesn't work though. It doesn't mean it doesn't look good. And as a result of these comparisons, Overwatch's player count mysteriously dipped by around half from like 43,000 early December to around 20,000 where a certain other game was released. I wonder why. And then if we look at how people receive Overwatch on Steam, the first thing we see is loot boxes, a bunch of bundles to get all the add-ons. You look at that, all DLC, $141. What is that? Like 100 American probably. And mostly negative. And you can just see that the Steam reviews are going off on Overwatch. All right, let's actually provide a constructive review why people are review bombing Overwatch 2. And there is a long review here. People are review bombing your game. You took something we paid for, supported, and enjoyed for years, lied to us about your plans, turned it into trash. Now you're telling us to pay for features and content we previously enjoyed in the game we paid for. It's greedy, it's cynical, it's manipulative, and you've lost our trust. Also, you should fire Bobby Kotick. When was this written? Oh, that wasn't that long ago. That was like 2 weeks ago. I can actually speak on this one because I was a big Overwatch player. Shout out to you if you're an OG and we're in those OG Overwatch streams. It's the game that kind of got me back into gaming in 2016. Yeah, Overwatch 2 was kind of super unnecessary. They reworked a bunch of heroes. They said, we're going to do PvE, and then it got delayed. And then they said, well, we're going to release the PvP part first. And then that's actually going to remove Overwatch, the original. But most importantly, when the game was first launched, heroes were behind paywalls. And that has since been changed. So we keep talking about first impressions here. Marvel had all their characters or heroes available to play day one. There was no paywall shenanigans. Overwatch still does a limited battle pass, which Marvel does not. There's a lot of comparisons, led to a lot of discourse. On the one hand, I definitely think that clearly for the game to get this reception, it's good, or at least it's really fun. It's free. That's important. It does have a great IP. That I don't think that's enough to carry it though. We've seen other games that have tremendously great IPs flop time and time again. The inspiration is clear. I think that NetEase and Tencent definitely are developing some or publishing some games that take the same aesthetic inspiration from other games. I think it's blatantly. That doesn't make it a one-to-one ripoff. Remember the times where people called Genshin Impact a Breath of the Wild clone because of the cell shading. So we've come a long way since then, right? To just write everything off as, that looks like that. Did Egoraptor animate this? I do think there is a lot of recency bias as well for Marvel Rivals. There's a bit of glazing. We still got like $20, $25 cosmetics and bundles that, you know, battle passes don't expire. But I mean, man, we've come a long way since Horse Armor to be spending $20 in a free-to-play game. And I love this tweet. Never oof yourself. And it's my boy getting play of the game. And Reese's Pieces, McDonald's, some flaming hot Cheetos on the desk, ready to be chowed down and snacked on. And the reason why I like this is because this tweet got 34,000 likes. And I saw this exact format, one-to-one with Overwatch 2. And everyone in the replies are like, wrong game, what are we talking about, wrong game? Look, at this point, we are at like the live service endgame between NetEase, Tencent, and Epic Games. They're coming after every game genre. I guess I should add like Riot Games in there and MiHoYo. They're coming after every game genre. They're all trying to race to make their own metaverse. Like Fortnite just announced a 5v5 almost Counter-Strike. I say Counter-Strike because the tagline is a light the fuse, like, you know, like the bomb in Counter-Strike, or a Valorant tactical shooter type thing, first person. game. So, you know, we're really at the live service end game right now. Anyways, I thought the comparisons with Concord were hilarious. I'm not going to use the W word because it's overused, and it's funny that it just comes down to people saying games are good because smash or pass, basically. Have you played Marvel Rivals? I've been hearing great things. My friends are trying to get me on. I get iron fisted or something trying to play support. I don't know. Okay, bye.